Hi everyone, I'm James from the Freemasons, and quite an exciting day here at our studio. I've got in my hand something which a lot of people are going to be very interested in. It's part of the new AIRA range from Roland, and this, to me, looks like a drum machine, but we've not opened it yet. So yeah, without further ado, let's see what we've actually got. Oh wow. Right, I guess we need to plug this in and see what I'm guessing there's going to be colours everywhere. So guys, what is this? Is this analog? Is this digital? Is it hybrid?
Component model digital.
Component model digital, okay, right. Anyway, that's enough of this. Let's have a look and see what we can get out of it. All right, everyone, ready? Oh, that's fantastic. And we need to find out exactly what scatter does as well.
Scatterbrain.
That's beautiful already.
I like the old Roland lights.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So look, I've just been slightly told off. This is actually the AIRA range of products, and it keeps on coming as well. This, I'm sure everyone's going to pretty much guess what this is going to be once it's out of the box. Even the box looks fantastic. Let's not muck about. Let's have a look. Okay. Now that looks very new.
Wasn't expecting that.
No, not at all.
I've seen sort of photos of that on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I've seen that you can see some of the teaser lights and all that kind of stuff on some of the videos. Right.
It's much easier to program than the old. Yeah, well, it's got.
Okay. Oh wow. Brilliant. Hi guys, so look, we've got it out of the box, and got to thank Dan from GAC for bringing this down with the Roland guys as well. It's been fantastic to actually see it in operation, but most importantly, this is obviously a recreation of at least one of the classic Roland rhythm boxes. So first of all, which one is it? Well, it's kind of either or. As you can hear from that, it can be an 808. Would help if I had the others turned in. But with a flick of a quick switch, we can turn this straight into a 909. And in classic Roland style, you've got a step sequencer, which you can use just like this. And Steve Mack's with us, who's owned many more rhythm boxes than I've had at dinners. And he says you've got extra controls on this that you would have seen from the original 808 and 909. There's some more tuning options. But most importantly, with the help of a bit of shuffle, it's instantly a 909. So that's the basic functionality of the older rhythm boxes, but obviously they've not stopped there. You can see a whole series of effects at the top. You've got an accent which is global to the entire pattern. So if he says, we've got a hard accent on the downbeat there, we'll put one in the middle. Okay guys, so there's basic pattern in there. What we're going to do now is just add some reverb onto the last clap in the pattern. So I'm going to do that by holding down the kit and the step and selecting the instrument I want the reverb to go onto. Back into step mode a minute, hit the step here. That shows me what's available. And there's 8 types of reverb to play with, so if I hold step and instrument, I can actually select between the different reverbs. Ah, nice. Good play. In fact, let's just do one more. We'll stick one on the first. Kick drum. Where are you? Sorry. Got to be a favourite so far. There's a delay as well, works in the same principle, allows you to add delays, great for adding some extra little timing flourishes to whatever you're doing, but my favourite has got to be this thing. Let me just quickly show you what it does. It's no point me telling you about it, you might as well just hear it. Perfectly synced real-time effects, just at the touch of a button. 2 controls, either on or off. There's about 10 different patterns built in and a depth control as well. Perfect for live performance, although you wouldn't want to do that after a few beers. I think you'd be... Ah. Brilliant. So once again, back to the other kit. Let's have a quick look at the 808. And that kick drum. Now, even through the monitors here, we've got absolutely no EQ on this. This is just going straight into a preamp. It sounds just like an 808. I mean, frighteningly so as well. Apparently, it's all component modelling. It's all back to component modelled versions of the original circuits from the 808 and 909, I believe, which is perfect, which is why it sounds so good. The original samples are in there from the 909 as well for the hats and the ride. But one thing we asked is, how can we not just use this as a live performance tool, but use it as a studio tool? Obviously, everyone's got tons and tons of 808 and 909 samples, but to hear this in action and be able to tweak it and get the things right for the track that you're working on, it would be great to actually be able to record this. Looked on the back, and there's two outputs, one main stereo output. There's also an additional assignable output and a sidechain input, which we'll come to a bit later on when we start playing with the bass line. But what we didn't realise, and we got very excited about, this USB cable here is capable of sending every single instrument as a mono signal into your DAW at once. And we can show you this right now. All right, guys, so look, we've been playing around with this for a bit, and we're very excited to discover, as we just said, that we can take multi-channel audio out of the USB and chuck it into a DAW. I've got Ableton Live set up here. It runs just as a straightforward core audio driver. You can see it come up here, 14 ins, 4 outs. I'm assuming, even though there's not that many instruments, because certain things will change function depending on the actual sound that you're using. That's why there's different outputs there. But hey, just technically being able to get that many channels across USB safely is a miracle, if you ask me. Look, I can sync it. Just simple MIDI sync straight from the USB, and the device has instantly picked it up, so I should be able to record the whole pattern down. Not only that, whilst I do it, I've got full level control. And that's one thing to mention, there's a great compressor circuit, or compressor modelling as a control here. And if we open this up, we can see here everything that I just put down is perfectly recorded. Now, there is going to be a degree of latency. You just can't help it. The MIDI clock's got to get down to this device, and then the audio's got to be sent back, and this is USB. This is not on a network, so there's going to be a degree. But all you've got to do is just chop your pattern, just chop the front off there. We've already tested it for looping. It works perfectly. But that is now playback. And in fact, one interesting thing I've just suddenly thought of, we could probably drop in at any point. So if I set some quick markers here, we've still got the thing in sync. It should be in sync with itself. So if I wanted to change the pattern, say I'd made a live performance, didn't like the look of it, and just wanted to go back in again. For example, on these kick drums, it's going to drop in at 27. Oh, it has actually dropped in. I've just got it in the wrong mode. Let's try that again. So it's going to drop in at 27. Dropping in now. One more time. I'll actually press record this time. So we've got these enormous kick drums here. We're just going to replace them at bar 25. So let me just pull that to there. So what I'm going to do is just literally play this down. This will take over at the given point. It's still in sync. So any changes that I were doing on these real-time controls that I might have mucked up, I can actually repair straight off. That's it. while we're here, there's one thing I've got to quickly do is just have a look at the waveform. Yeah, it's perfect. Look at that. It looks just like an 808 should. As you can see, there is this slight degree of latency, but if I shave that whole thing off the front, which anyone can do with a little bit of editing. You're banging sync. Right guys, now we've got to ask the question, because the prices of 909 have rocketed since the resurgence of house in Europe and UK at the moment. They're at wow, they've gone way over what they used to be. The combined cost of an 808 and a 909 is now probably, an original one, about 4 grand. 4,000 UK British pounds. How much is this?
399. Wow.
Really?
Yeah, 399.
Look at his face there.
I lost. The price is right.
Okay, that's incredible.
That's brilliant.
I thought you were going to say a little bit more, considering the heritage.
500.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Which makes it affordable for everyone.
Yeah. It make well as I assume it's been devised as well as a bit of a touring device. What does this do?
Makes squelchy.
Come on, we've got to go and see this. So we've got the two wired together. Very, very simply, there's just a MIDI cable going out of the TR-8 into the TB-3. It's going to provide real-time MIDI clock, and we've just got some standard audio connections straight out into what is effectively the sidechain input of the TR-8. But the great thing is it is an automatic or just a general mix mode that allows the output of this to just fire straight through. So with one output, we can hear the whole thing. But the beauty is we start to see these working together as a performance pair, which is what they've always been designed for. And it's lovely to see a return to this as well, because the TB-303, even the original, was actually designed as a bassline device for karaoke, believe it or not, in Japan. And then someone decided to hit the resonance a little bit high and acid was born. But look, without further ado, let's just show you kind of what this can do. Now, I've only just had these in here for about, I don't know, an hour or so, so it shows you how quickly you can pick up the performance aspect of this and really start mucking around with it. So look, quick overview of this. You've obviously got the very important controls that any bassline synth is going to need, the cut-off and resonance controls. You've got an accent control there for some of the sequencing to actually allow certain notes to come up. You've got all of the effects, all of the performance, the sequencing aspects of the original 303. If I go into the step mode, you can see we've got accents and ties and slides and rests and exactly the same original programming spec of the 303. Come out of that and we'll go through some of the sounds. And you saw me hit some effects onto this as it was playing earlier on, and the same scatter control that's on the TR-8 or a similar idea is available here, and it just allows you depth and pattern control up here. So I'll just show you some of them. also got control of the envelope modulation, which is obviously the envelope controlling the filter. I can see the hours are just going to go by. We're going to be here for a bit. But not only that, as well as all of the TB-3 sounds, there are banks way beyond that of other stuff. And obviously I'm just playing back one pattern here. We've got a ton of patterns in there, which I'm assuming if we go into pattern select, I can change the banks up and down here. So great for live performance. You've got a visual indication of the bank that you're on, as well as an LED readout. And once again, step record and real-time record as well. But yeah, to see the two of them together, I totally understand the concept behind this now, because this is designed for people. It's just to have fun. And I guess the one thing I've noticed being in the room with them just for the first couple of hours is that I haven't looked at the computer screen once, and I've not done that for probably years.
20 years old?
Yeah, since I saw, well, since you used hardware the first time. And hey, it's great to see a return to this, because also it's going to bring about probably an interaction between people. Because one thing we've said for studios for the last few years is everyone's just looking at computer screens at the moment. And when people are actually focusing on something physical, you're probably going to get a lot more interaction. So look. Brilliant. That's all I can say.